Welcome to BuddhaNexus.net. This is an unofficial video that I've put together in order to provide an introduction and to show you the various options available so you can make optimal use of the resources that this site has to offer. So in this video I will discuss what we call the text view mode only, and other modes will be discussed in a subsequent video. Very briefly, BuddhaNexus uses a neural network approach to find matches within Buddhist texts. So these matches can be an indication of parallels within the texts, which can then be used for the study of the evolution of scriptures, as well as gain a better understanding of the Buddhist teachings. For the time being, matches can only be shown within one language, so Pali, Sanskrit, Tibetan or Chinese. But we're currently working to also train the neural network to find multilingual matches. So this is the home page, and there are a number of pages that you can read through in your own time. So it's like the history, the methodology, various people and institutions that have been involved in this project, etc. In this video I just want to focus on the database itself, and you can go there by either clicking on one of these languages or by going to the database here. If at any point you want to read back a little bit about what I said here, there's a summary under guidelines. So let's go to Pali, and then we get this welcome screen that also tells you where the source files come from. So the majority of the files come from Sutta Central's JSON-based segmented texts, also called Bilara, and the rest of it, that's all the commentarial texts come from the Vipassana Research Institute. So you have several options here. So first of all, you want to choose a text. So you can either do so in here, that's a drop-down box where all the texts are listed, and you can type, so and then the text that you might be looking for will come up. Or you can browse the sidebar menu. So for instance, early suttas would be the Digha Nikaya, Majjhima Nikaya, etc. And you can just click on any one of those to open them up. The other things we're seeing here is the global text search. That searches through the entire database in all languages. So if you have a word that appears in, for instance, Pali and Sanskrit, you will get all the matches for that word within both texts. Then we have the various views, so there's text view, table, numbers and graphs view, and in this video I will only talk about text view, and the other views I will do at a later time. And then here we have another couple of options that toggle full screen mode, so I'm going to do that now to get rid of the header and we have a bit more space. And this is the filter menu, which I'll come to in a minute. So let's start with choosing a text. So let's check the Brahmajala Sutta, the first one. And then we get to see a very colorful text. So what does all that mean? Well, there's this little button here, this information button that you can click on, and it will show you exactly what all that means. Black text has no matches at all, and this orange text has more than 10 matches with the current filters. Now, if I open up the filter menu, it shows me there are 7,472 matches in total for this text. And then I have a number of filters that I can set. If I click on any one of these areas, let's click on this one for instance, it will open up another column, and I can move columns and make them bigger or smaller in this way, depending on how much space I need. And it will tell me, like in this case, that there's 12 parallels of this selected segment with the current filters, and it will give me several details here. So let's have a look at it. So it gives me this number Anya. When I hover over it, it will show me the name of the full name of the text. So these are commentarial texts, and when I move mouse over these things, you will see that it changes slightly on the left hand side depending on how big the match is. So what we see here also is the score. So that's the similarity score, which is the value that's given to a match based on the similarity between source and target. So value 100 means a perfect match, while a lower value indicates less similarity. Then we have the length. So that's the minimum match length, which is the length in characters. So if you're interested in verse lines, you would most likely want to set this a little bit lower than for prose. Like for prose, I would probably guess that a match length of about 100 characters or less than 100 characters is not very valuable. So you want to play around with that and see how that works. And these are values you can set in the menu here on the right. Then there's co-occurrences that represents how many times a match is contained within other matches. So a higher co-occurrence means that the passage is probably a standard phrase, which is much less likely to be a meaningful match. So like I said, all these values you can change here. And you can also set exclude and include filters. So that means that if you're, for instance, only interested in the early Buddhist texts, you can say that. You can exclude, for instance, all the commentarial texts, etc. And that will also change what you're seeing. So let's do that. Let's get rid of all the commentarial texts. This one and that one and that one. And let's change this a little bit, like the set the minimum length maybe for 100. We can get to 100. Similarity score, I think I'll leave at 30, and co-occurrences maybe a bit less, like 16. Okay, so now you see a very different picture, like all these texts have gone black, so there's no matches with these values. So let's click on this one here. There's still quite a few colors there. So all these are like more earlier Buddhist texts in here. And there's something else that I want to show you about this. For instance, this is Anguttara Nikaya 10. And if I hover over it, it will give me the name. When I look at the bottom of the screen, then you see there that it is a link to Sutta Central. And it's not just any link to Sutta Central, it will open up that specific passage within Sutta Central. So if I click on that, it will go to that specific passage within Sutta Central. Another option is the source text. So if I hover over the name of the source text, it will also give me the name. And here's a button that also takes it to Sutta Central, so you can show what known parallels there are and also what translations there are. So if I click on that, it will open this. Another couple of possibilities here are this button takes you back to the top when you're way at the bottom, or you can open it in an extra tab. Now, what can I do with all these matches? Now, if I click on this one, for instance, it opens the same text on the right. And you see all these green bits here. And again, there is this info button where you can press to find out what the green bits are, but I'm also going to tell you. You can also open this in a new tab, this text, so you can have it on the left side because there are some differences. These green parts are all the matches that correspond with the inquiry text on the left. If I want to know, for instance, like, okay, I just clicked on this one here, that was this one, this here, this in the middle column, this match, and it's opened this one and it's highlighting it. So that's great. But what about this one? If I click on it, it will open in the middle column the exact match that it has with the inquiry text on the left. And I can click on that again, and it will open it up on the left. Another thing I forgot to mention is like the numbering. The numbers are using the same numbers as, so the central is the PTSCS numbers. So if you hover over a text, it will give you those numbers, and those are the same numbers that are mentioned up here. And you can also show those numbers by clicking here in the sidebar, and then it will show you the numbers either on the left or the right. So that is it for the text view mode. And in the next video, I will explain to you the table view, numbers view, graph view, and the visual charts. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy BuddhaNexus. Just like I said, just play around with things and then just find out how things work. That's the best way of doing it.